We are not designed the same. The rules and standards of society hold us accordingly, completely different from yours. You understand me? The wrong gesture can can result in police being called on you. All it takes is someone to think the wrong thing.
True.
Understand me? And this is very dangerous. And when I speak on these things, like for example, sorry about that. Emotions for a man are very reserved. They are very reserved with their emotions, just as if a woman reserved with her body. This is something that and most women will be like, oh, oh, you should just you're in a safe space. You should just open up. It's not that simple. It really isn't because it can,
Define
like I said.
safe.
I mean, I can always point out at least one man. All right, let's be fair here, gentlemen on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Show of hands. How many of you gentlemen showed a woman even part of your feelings, and then she later on used it against you?
Me.
Let me turn on my camera so you ladies can see me raise my hand too. You understand me? So this is not just to be full of it or
Rajiv,
try
just
to.
raise your hand and
But yeah, well, I think he raised his. The point I'm trying to make is
You said dink, so obviously. Have you heard him speak? Of course, someone uses. This nigga was made for the streets. Have you forgotten?
I hear you, sir. I hear you. I hear you. Well, the point is I'm trying to get at, ladies. It's easy for you to say because you dwell in the realm of emotions. Emotions for almost any part of known history for men normally normally result in loss of life, loss of fortune, loss of land, loss of titles when emotions are implied for most men. I'm not saying that emotions aren't good. Yes, it is. But you can't expect a man to just drop all his safeguards and run to you. Honey, let me tell you about how my life has been. No, it's not that simple. And this just like how you would love a gentleman to get to know you on not just on an intimate level, but on a mental level. This is the part of the conversation that women love. That non-sexual attention. You all love it. That's what gets y'all going. Because again, men, we are creatures of God forgive me for saying this out loud. We are creatures of temptation. We are tempted quite daily, minutely, hourly, secondly. And I'm not going to lie, it happens. No matter who you think it is, even the pastor get tempted. But why society make it seems like even men of God are above temptations? The teacher get tempted, principal get tempted. You understand me? This and don't get it wrong. These men are hold on. These men are upstanding citizens, upstanding fathers, father figures, etc., etc. But a man, let me show you how. And again, gentlemen, I apologize for what I'm about to say because I know you're going to agree with me. And ladies, forgive me. I am not disgusting. I really am not. But this is male nature I'm talking about. And this is something that's very easily overlooked. Gentlemen, and you don't have to show hands, but for those of you who don't afraid, does a man, show of hands, if a woman's body is how you'd imagine it to be and the plastic bag is over her head, would you still fuck?
Sorry, if a woman's body is what?
All right. Say the girl that you've always wanted, but you can't tell the face. Would that still stop you from being stimulated to want to have sex? with that gorgeous body. I mean, she's naked, boobs up.
Hey,
She's
someone,
Stimulated.
someone don't care. Someone are good. Hey,
hold on,
yeah.
hold on.
Just in
Hold
our
on.
pitch black room, can't see
I'm
nothing,
asking,
can't see nothing.
hold on. I'm asking you, gentlemen, first before I make my point. So, if you have an idea who it is, right, let's go there. So you have an idea who it is you want, and she's right there. You can't. Would you still be comfortable?
I wouldn't.
And that's one.
Like
One against. Mm-hmm.
everything I think I've got together. One thing
Mm-hmm.
can't go, one thing not go. So me wouldn't do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I wouldn't be stimulated to do that. To
All
see
right.
that, nah.
Okay. That well, so be it. And honest, Chloe, what would you say?
I'd be stimulated.
You would be. And nothing wrong with that. That's one for stimulated. So, doctor, what's your answer?
Be back on in a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, gentlemen. I would be stimulated too. And don't get me wrong, I love my wife, but what? We are creatures of sight. Men are visual creatures, and this is the part most women don't get. A man doesn't need to see your face to be stimulated. We don't. In Europe, they have a thing called they call it a glory hole palooza. I forgot where in Europe it is, but this is normal in certain parts of Europe, by the way. This is not just me, just oh my God. I actually did some research and I was like, oh, they actually have like bars and they have like this is like what do you call it? The brothel them in America
Process, yeah.
with the truckers them thing there, but over there it's called a glory hole palooza where you pay a ticket. Again, this is all legal. This is all legal. You buy a ticket, and when you walk in, you see a picture of the girl's face, and that body part is hanging out. So, are you getting where this is going, right?
Yep.
And gentlemen,
I've seen the
can't
video.
see these men's faces, and these men are going to town. No
And
fears.
it's all the
You understand me? And these guys are comfortable doing all of this. You feel it? And I'm like, wow. And, everybody is participating. Guys even laughing, talking to each other. Oh, what's up, man? Oh, I've been here like my third time. What? Yeah, I did. Oh, you know what you? Oh, yeah.
alright.
But you have some good points to that shop, some really good points. And true, most man, you know, no matter what you look like, as long as everybody good and them say them want peace, then I that them all go.
But the point, the ultimate thing I was getting at is that don't take it the wrong way, ladies. When I say emotions don't motivate most men,
So,
you believe it or not, become that emotional extension of us. That's what I say. A woman I won't say it like that, but a woman puts a man is full view in perspective, because the downside of logic is we can detach emotion from our decision making.
Yeah,
Which
we can lose our humanity that way.
yes, and I'm not going to pretend like and don't make nobody fool. Intelligence don't mean much when it comes to that, because you can be an intelligent man and detach emotion and still do ya though, and you can be the ignoramus under the same thing. That is just the nature of men. You understand me? Where, like for example, your child is 18 years old. Men, we can detach our emotions and hug with daughter, hug with son, and put them through the door. Guess who do all the crying and the complaining and begging? No, no, man, I'm still about 21 and who did that? Okay. No, you can. Oh. No, you can't turn it off, honey. Oh, sorry about that. But yeah,
Life of a married man.
I mean, yo, I signed up for it. I signed up for this gig, and for those of you who think this is a walk in the park, marriage is anything but that. It's all about compromising, arguing, making up, make peace. Be petty a little every now and again. What do you know it's all love? You know it's all love. No, we both know it's all love.
Yes, Dario. No, right up your alley. Petty.
That's the difference. Well, I know.
Anyway,
But sir, this is come from a man who's been married for 8 years. You understand me? Marriage is anything but the whole, oh, I love you. And don't get me wrong, you love the person, but it's not this whirlwind fantasy that Disney trick no one to believe. You get up every morning, you look at that person, and their breath stinks. Ugo in them nose, Mata in them yai, like everybody else. And I'm saying that for try to make one get a leveled perspective of this. No matter who you're there with, he could have a jawline chiseled like Adonis. You know, he could be scruffy and look like he need a lawnmower upon him beard. The point, the point me I try to make is whoever you are with, don't look at them as, oh, he's so gorgeous, he's so. People age, people get fat, people change, some good, some bad, but you have to accept that. And this is coming from me. You understand me? I won't say I'm egotistical when it comes to certain things, but at the same time, I have expectations for my own life. Nothing's wrong with that. My wife has expectations for our life. You understand me? It's a game of give and take. We have to understand what you're signing up for. I know what I'm saying is gone off topic, and Dario, yarn, and I know, I went off, but I hope people do get that. The reason I'm on this thing, it's not to join, not to give the idea that I'm joining the woman bashing, because somebody out there is going to say we're woman bashing. I don't know why, but look at it this way: I'm married. What do I get from bashing women? That makes no sense. I'm married with child. I know that sounds weird, but the point I make it is I am dedicated to a woman, not women, a woman. I'm not saying every man make the same way, but the point is I know that I need a woman in my life. And I would love for the black race. This is why I keep coming on here. I hope some of my words will encourage some of you to actually look into one another when it comes to the men that want to bring into one life, into one space, into one energy. Because believe it or not, ladies, whenever you're with someone, you're giving. Every time you give yourself to a man, you're giving them piece of you, and you are taking piece of him into you. Sometimes women wonder why every man them there with is like this word we Jamaicans love use, crosses. It's like a peer crosses me a track.
Gotcha.
Yeah, track.
Some of them want a bad man push and they smoke weed.
Day.
one man in shoe, she like that.
Again,
One man in shoe,
ladies,
she like that.
Ignore these crow
Again?
Ignore them. The point I'm getting at is shut up. The point I'm getting at is think. You have to really put your head, and I know this is for some women, This is because I know I get it. I've listened to a female try to explain what goes on in her head, and I'm like, wow, wow. Gentlemen, have you ever sat down and asked a woman to explain what goes on when she's thinking? Did any of you ever ask this question?
About what?
Ask a woman how her thought process happens minute by minute. Her thought process, how it works.
How chaotic it is.
Yes, exactly.
I
Exactly.
did it a couple times.
Mm.
Would not recommend.
There you go. So, doctor, what you say?
Never again.
Oh, you said never again, right? Okay. So, ladies, I
One
know
star.
I've never asked. I never
you've
asked.
never
but
asked. You should.
Nope. And I don't want to ask.
One sec.
You should.
And I will never ask
Yes, Ajib, I suggest.
because I am not ready to do it. I'm good.
Sir,
You're not getting
Hold on.
any younger, now, sir.
well, I know. The first 2 minutes of her starting to explain what's going on in just the first 10 paces, 10 paces of the first thought. And this person is having 12 to 25 thoughts at the same time, being dissected 10 to 20 different times per thought.
As I said, I'm not ready to go crazy. I said, I'm good.
Yeah. So,
I'm quite okay.
hold on, I'm not done yet. So, hold on, let's make this make sense. So 20 ideas are floating in this young lady's head, and they're being dissected 10 to 20 times per idea. Gentlemen, and when she explains how her brain is trying to make it all make sense, all at the same time. I usually hear comedians make jokes that a woman could be cleaning, cooking, dusting, having sex, talking on the phone. And I used to find that really hilarious at first. But then when that young lady started
This is
to
real.
say things that was going through her head, I was like, oh my God, that joke is actually the truth. And
No, but like for a joke to be funny, it has to be 99.9% true.
but I thought it was like, and the more she talked, the more I was like, and she's like, that's just the first 5 minutes. What? What?
There's more.
Yes, extensively a lot. And remember, the reason why from her description is that when her emotions get involved, it spirals the logic in the conversation into many sub bubbles in her head. That same one topic that's divided multiple times because in her head, there has to be a reason behind all of this. So she starts to dig and create her own pocket realities. And you understand me, I try to gentlemen, where I mean, this has happened to at least one of y'all, where a girl will bring a conversation to you, and then when it doesn't work that way, she puts down, drops it, and then a few days later, she brings up a scenario similar to the first one, but different somehow. Have you ever been hit with those kind of questions?
Couple times, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's their brains trying to make it all make sense. I had a headache when she described what goes on in her head.
1 sec.
So are we supposed to stop talking until Jenna?
No, nope. We're continuing.
Okay. So yes, and I won't lie, it I was like, wow. I can see why men call y'all crazy. And she says, I agree. She agreed. I was like, wow. She's like, yo, now that I sit down and really think it out for herself, she's like, she can see why guys consider us crazy to shoot. He's like, I'm a chick, and sometimes I consider myself crazy.
No greater example
Yeah.
than that ridiculous show with the bunch of women. I don't remember the name of the show, but
Sex
bunch
and the
of-
City.
no, not that. At the talk show,
Girlfriends.
black woman and so other.
Oh,
Yeah,
For the
the
queens,
V.
yeah, yeah. Urban Preacher alluded to it, and I remember watching
I'm
that.
pretty sure.
And first couple seconds of hearing one of the fact that Gabriel Union of all women was on it made me know that the show had no credibility. But I watched that one episode where Urban Preach talked about. I'm like, oh,
She literally contradicted herself in 1 minute.
I'm not crazy. 5 seconds later, proceeds to show
However, in the
show-
exact same minute, she contradicted herself. Anyway,
the whole issue was that women don't like when men ask, "Are you on your period?"
No. Hey, different topic for a different night. Let's not go down that rabbit. But I want to close off with this. This is probably why the Bible is a kind of a balanced book. As Trevor Noah would know tonight, as it's kind of a balanced book, or God is kind of a balanced God, where at one point he can be logical, another point he can be emotional. Logical, where with Noah's Ark, like 90-something% of the world was effed, was screwed, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna start over. Y'all is decent. I'm gonna save you. So get on a boat, everybody else dies. That's logic right there. Like, can't bother to save the rest of you. I'm just going to wipe everything out and just start afresh. But I mean, in the New Testament, you have a scripture that says God will turn back for the one. Will leave the 99 just to go back for the one. That's something emotional. Because I mean, if you have to risk 99 for one, most men won't do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
As I would say, it's kind of an illogical thing to do.
Women don't deal with that, do they?
I mean, we already used this example. Yeah, you make a valid point because when that guy that Jay say he might do it wrong this whole time. For example, his situation where he didn't want to impregnate his brother's wife because he thought, it would be doing his brother a dishonor. And when he came and he hit the floor of God, he literally struck him down out of anger. That's an emotional move right there. To me personally, but I mean, what's your interpretation of that situation?
Yeah, I'm not even sure. Honestly, I know the scripture. I don't really know what to say about it, but when I get into it, I know, I've genuinely thought about it since the first time I heard it as a teenager or a young adult. I don't know what to say about it. Honestly, I don't know.
I know, right? Because I mean I can see both angles in God's decision making right there. As a logical.
Assuming God just wanted the child for probably some deep spiritual.
I mean, to carry on his father's name.
Oh yeah. So
he'd be.
Nina's third paragraph. We fight to open him up, soften him up, be the mother he never had, show him the loyalty he's never received, overlook the red flags, because he has a 10 years therapist, settle for mediocre courtship, settle for lackluster sex, for selfishness and no reciprocity, diminish ourselves for fear of being labeled as too opinionated, high maintenance, or pushy. This is a lot to take in, and there's too many sides to the arguments.
Okay,
One thing I
so
wanted to look at,
hold on,
looking red flags.
hold on. Let me see. I can go to the picture and it's a try to
WhatsApp
open
group.
it up. So blah, 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 blah. Overlook the red flags because he has potential.
That's my favorite line.
That's your choice.
A red flag, and how red is it?
No, but that's your choice.
Exactly.
Like,
well,
okay.
so I'm looking at it from two perspectives. Like,
no, I'm not.
everyone has
I'm
issues.
not going to look at it
So
from one.
there will be flags. What is your red flag, and how is it like red? Is it like pink? Is it like what?
Yeah, but here, all right. Let me see if I
The
can
variables.
objective. Okay. You stick with a person who shows red flags, but how blatant are those flags for you in the relationship? Furthermore, you cannot be complaining about a red flag when you already know about the goddamn color. You made the choice to overlook the flag because you want him to be better. But here's the thing, and we all know this, gentlemen. If the man doesn't want to be better, you can't force him to be better. This is common knowledge. Well, I keep on thinking that everyone has common sense, and you guys keep on correcting me, telling me that common sense.
It's a Jamaican saying, common sense is not that common.
Yeah. But my point remains, there's no way on this planet you're going to convince a man that he needs to be better unless he believes that himself. So, while I understand,
what is the red? Right. Is it the red flags in dating or red flags in the actual relationship? Because when Urban Preach reviewed something, dating coaches and psychologists would literally came on and said, for dating, a woman's red flag was a man wearing a black belt with brown shoes. And like hundreds of thousands of women view this as a red flag. But I agree. Sorry. And if it's a red flag in dating, like what is it? Does he like action figures? Is he like Big Bang Theory addicted, or does he just have like one shelf?
You see, if we're going to go by that logic, then
or is it no? Because I mean, you can't tell me that he's hitting you as a red flag from the first week in the relationship, and you overlook that.
Oh, let's not go there because we know
that's the thing. No, this is what I meant. Is it what do you classify as a red flag, and how red is it? Because even if it's action figures, and he's like more addicted than Sheldon and the guys in Big Bang Theory, that's a huge. I wouldn't even want to be friends with that dude.
All right.
So if you want to date,
let me use one of the most major red flags that I have seen personally witnessed. One of the biggest red flags, especially for the girls in this country. Oh, you watch cartoons, or you watch anime, oh, that means I can't really be with you. For some reason, that's one of, like, clothes and then something that you can, I guess you can bypass if you're really that petty, but like, women slander everything a man enjoys. Most women do. And what I find so amusing, the minute you find some form of red flag with them, like, say for instance, I call a girl high maintenance. She's going to tell you all the way she isn't high maintenance, yet her actions prove you right every single time. So when I see this and it's so vague, it makes no sense. And then the next thing that she says, set up a mediocre courtship. I'm not even want to go there, so because I'm not sure what exactly she's alluding to. What is she alluding to him not
No,
proposing
mediocre
to
courtship.
her in time?
Maybe he's not as affectionate in the relationship as she wants him to be.
All right.
So she wants to hold hands in public, and he's
so-
like, no, I don't like PDA.
I never wanted to use this example. I really still don't, but I will use it. All right, so cool. So, females, if you do answer this question, when you're harassed and sometimes even worse, raped, and you're in a relationship with a guy, I'm pretty sure you're not as tentative as you want to be, right? No, I'm not saying it's the same thing. But call a spade a spade. It takes time for certain things to be built, correct, Dario? That level of trust and that level of understanding. So, where do females get off saying men aren't that affectionate when you're not even really giving the time of day to even be affectionate? Suppose he has his own way of being affectionate and you just refuse to recognize it as that. I mean, some women find hitting their men playfully as affectionate when really and truly it pisses off most of us. Some women think, well, not for me. Some women slap their men on their ass and they have a problem with it. I mean, I don't really care.
Yay.
Shut up. But I I'm go mute that's all.
We won't call names.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this tonight. But I just don't get it. You want men to be affectionate, yet y'all have some of the weirdest ways of showing your own affection. Y'all literally abuse men in relationships, and you call it affection. Amber Heard, everybody know about she, and she claims her beating up her husband was affection, and feminists went wild. But I digress.
I mean, again, I guess we're used to the common forms of affection, like stealing your man's food. Sorry, I mean,
She will lose her hand.
taking his jerseys, wearing his hoodies.
That is completely different. For so many reasons.
That's quite alright.
I just like I like it.
What I
But it depends on the person who does.
There's nothing wrong with taking a jersey or a hoodie, you know. But so when a man asks you about 500 million times what you want to eat and you say no, and you're ready to go put your blessing and in the food, careful. You will.
I have a solution to that. That I have pick the food or we're having sex. See how fast she decides. Come back, doctor. Oh, he's back. Give her some kind of ultimatum. Hey, if you don't pick which restaurant we're gonna eat, I'm having you for dinner. See how fast she decides what she wants. See how fast. I haven't tried this theory as yet. I haven't tried this as yet. It's still a theory. I thought of, but I believe
Yes, Dario. I very much believe you that it's still a theory and you haven't used it in practice yet.
I legit thought about this. I'm gonna try it. Just wait. I'm gonna try it.
Well, you already have a word.
Girlfriend.
You already have a candidate, so well.
Yeah.
You trying to blow up Dowies? Why are you trying to blow up Dowies' spot? What is wrong with you, sir? You don't do that, sir. You don't do
The
that.
racism.
What? Racism. What?
Racism.
Wow. Wow.
It's because it's because
Because you're black?
I'm slightly darker.
What?
So hurt
Because I'm
because I'm one shade darker. Bigotry.
Uh,
You see, this is what happens when you're looking out for your friends.
Um.
Oh yeah, before we even move
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
the setup for lackluster sex part has me questioning her.
That's what I was just about to say.
Like, I don't know if I'm the only one who notices this, but women are like extremely quick to call out when men can't have sex with them properly. Like, the amount of women I've seen that have called out men and said, oh, then he should say he's doing this right, and really I'm not feeling anything. They're very quick to call that out. And from my point of view, settle for lackluster sex, which woman? I have not met her yet. I mean, maybe you guys can give me an example, but I mean, this just speaks as if you're settling for less, I guess.
you see,
Like,
look at it this way, and I'll say this for. I'm trying to say if men would have the same issue, because, to be honest with you, sex really isn't that important. I mean, yeah, some people might, like, we need to look back, and then again, that's the next problem too. Society has moved so far into hedonism that you can't even try to talk people out of not thinking with their genitalia. That's a big problem, people. We can have a whole conversation, but all the good things about being with someone instead of just, oh, he can't go an hour like my ex. Are you serious? Yes. Women dismiss men for a lot of BS. Mind you, I'm not saying that every man can, and some man are blessed down there like that, you feel me? But I'm just saying, you have good men, some good men, but in our mind, because him not turn her a certain way, him not attack her a certain.
Because he not slam her in a wall, lock her head night or something.
Push her head to a grill or beat her head through the wall. Yes, and then this is where I understand with most women, right? You claim you want a good man, but don't you think that a man needs help? And this is the part where most women, tend to forget.
A man needs what?
Help.
Help.
Said she want a good man, but a man needs what?
Help.
Help. Yeah.
Why I say help is, and
women also want a sexual acrobats, but I digress.
And women need to also take this into consideration. Every man that you move on to, any new sexual partner, they're new.
Let's put it in simpler terms. It's like a Google Play Store update. You get new things,
which means
from what was old.
Which means this person knows nothing about your sexual language, your love language. You have to educate he or she, and this goes both ways. Because someone expect the woman to can drop it like it's hot and roll it around in a circle and all of the acrobats them too. Because who say man don't like that crap? We do. Oh yes, we do. Again, I digress.
Voices.
And sometimes you have to work the person into contact. One of my exes.
Reggie, we're not talking about you. We're talking about people.
Some Someone just want to
I,
take
I'm,
off clothes and ram on that.
You are boring.
I'm
You're
going to
going
say
to
this. This has nothing to do with our topic, but I'm going to say this. Rajiv, out of the four of us, you're the most uncultured swine. You're just uncultured. Stay out of this.
Me?
Yes.
Me?
You're uncultured, man. Backside.
Liar, tell you don't know nothing about me. I'm just saying, some man don't know nothing about them. Something there. Some man just want to take off clothes and stab and come and lie down and sleep.
that's true.
No,
That's
we
true.
are
That's how
to work
some
for, but
man.
we not do it tonight.
Yeah, about me now. I'm
that
just
is
saying.
some men really just want
Some man
to
don't know nothing about foreplay. All of them, something there.
And have
You
someone
see
even
me?
know what that mean. What are you saying?
Exactly.
What that
Hold on,
mean?
hold on. Gentlemen, we need to talk to the ladies. They are the ones who need this information. We know this. They don't know this. All right. Ladies, you want to know a truth that it might offend y'all. This is male nature, man nature. Again, it may be disgusting for some, but chances are almost everybody in this podcast, and probably the men around you, think this way as well. Forgive me, I mean no offense, but this is how the man thinks. If we can get it on, all the extra stuff put one side. This is where I talk about we can detach emotion. That conversation, that sit down, put in a movie, no damn well we don't give a damn about this goddamn movie.
Netflix.
And this is what goes on in our head.
Just act like you want.
Along, let's move it along. Right? Yeah, I got work in the morning. Let's move it along. I know. It sounds so barbaric, right? Oh my God. Is that how y'all think about us?
Yes, all
Yes.
the time, all day, every day, twice a day, 4 times on Sunday after church.
You said you wanted honesty.
I'm mad.
No, but
I'm
let us. No, but hold on.
Just
They
say.
say they want honesty. Yet, when
But
we
hold on.
say when the few brave us, because we know say we have some man out there who go grow in a Kingston and go to Cherry Garden and all sorts of food. You have someone with us walk in one straight line.
I preached at my church, and yeah, I mean, I'm still a human.
Yes, you are.
No, but hold on. You know what gets me though?
Hold on. Sorry for cutting you. Just want to make some very. It is.
No,
It is.
sorry. We're close up to the next part.
Yeah, but this is the part that most people don't get. This is what kept. I don't want to call him like that, but this is what he was getting at. But most women don't understand. Men, our logic, the way our nature, the way how we look at things, we can detach. It's quite, and this is what we say: sex for a woman and sex for a man are two different sex.
On that note, I wanted to point out something.
Go ahead.
5-minute documentary of a prostitute in London, and she was telling her sexual experiences of even the married men, like the nasty things that she does for them. Some of them, like the niggas' pants is still on, like she just come cough on the man them for like an hour. So you cough on me, give me COVID. And some other little weird acrobatics because they can't ask their wife to do these things.
Them man
And we can detach.
Someone that.
So it's not always weird stuff like cough on them to give them COVID, and because she doesn't actually have COVID. Not always stuff like that. Sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's milder.
Me hear say like man,
I mean,
and talk to them because they can't talk to them. Why? Sunday.
But then again, I saw other things where
Sorry.
I'm not gonna say the other things that she does, which is really popular because it's kind of weird and gross.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to weird you guys out too much. I'll text it in the group.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just go laugh. It's probably just going to laugh anyway. So
Coffee pot not weird
Oh,
me
see?
because
Sure.
go ahead.
She shits in a bag and puts it in the freezer.
I just knew. I knew it.
so hard when I'm going to eat it like chocolate ice cream.
No, they don't eat it. They just put it on the chest. Put it over the chest and stuff. It's actually quite popular.
Yo, yeah, some weird ass people. I really don't know.
You have guys that just call prostitutes just for cuddle because they just want to cuddle and feel loved or feel safe.
Right.
And then
I
when
understand
them
that.
done, them just gone back to them tough, rugged
I
exterior, and that's
understand
it.
that. I understand that. But yeah, so
And some of these guys are married. It's not always the thugs and the gunmen.
You know, this might just be me,
Like,
but
niggas
I'm
literally have escorts just hug and cuddle and feel love, and then they go back to being the baddest nigga that has ever lived because they can't from their wife or whosoever they're with.
for some
And
reason,
it-
I am
She got
heard
left.
that
Anyway,
no females join this podcast because Dario.
Well,
I'm
I'm
not
saying,
saying-
watch a lot
I'm not
of
saying that they're
documentaries.
kittens, but
well, I'm guess what the gym do for me. Not bad. I'm getting somewhere. Not
Yeah.
bad.
so hold on there. Everybody I get to mommy I get fucked.
whose fault is that, Rajiv?
Yours.
Yours.
Bro,
Oh, God.
I need to fix my diet.
You know,
My
if
arm
you
lost
want,
weight, my belly is still flabby.
you see,
Anyway,
Rajiv,
we're not talking about gym
the
and
difference
diets this week.
between
Let's
you
just
and
focus.
every other man that talks about being fat, you know what you need to do to get back to where you were. You're just lazy.
Brother, if I'm gonna run 2 times, I get back 6 so quite that.
Anyway,
Mhm.
so they settle for lackluster sex, settle for selfishness with no reciprocity, diminish themselves for fear of being labeled opinionated, high maintenance, or bougie.
For fear.
So hold on.
Mhm.
Settle for selfishness.
That's sticky. And not in a very nice way.
Settling for selfishness.
She's settling
Right,
for
so
selfishness.
so there has to be a balance. Like you're not supposed to get a selfish man, but I mean, if you're not a gold digger, fine, good, kudos. But
Yeah.
settling for selfishness, no, it has to be a balance.
No, even I know
It
that.
has to be give and take.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not
Again.
money, it's some art.
Again,
Today
we
I
don't
didn't
know.
go to church
Oh,
today
she's
because
right
I was
in this
helping my
stuff.
aunt some stuff. Huh?
We don't know. Again, we don't know how she's writing it because the way she's writing it,
Yeah, and
It
her
just-
idea of selfishness as well.
it just
Exactly.
seems as if that she is the pretty little angel that has come from the heavens and has done no wrong, while whoever this man is the worst thing since Satan himself. But I have one question to ask. What you still doing him for? Like,
Exactly.
That's the main question.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like,
Why are you still there?
It's like people seem to forget that there are choices in life that we make, even the bad ones that we seem to act like we regret. Deep down, we know at a point in time we never regretted them. Oh no, we never knew the consequences. But when you grow older, you understand. That's why I don't get why people say they come out of a relationship. Oh, I didn't learn anything. Huh? What? How are you that
Were you
ignorant?
paying attention to the relationship? Were you actually in it?
Like, bro,
Were you cheating the whole time?
You see, this is why I believe that people keep on carrying emotional trauma and then they don't realize, like, we've all watched Dragon Ball Z. Like, that energy might not be real, but it's real to us because we can see that evaporate off of you. Your emotional trauma makes no sense to us because we know
Many a
what
time
is going to
I
happen.
have been in my living room, raising my hands, giving Goku energy for spirit bombs.
Yo, we are killing it tonight with
You
these
went
jokes.
way over the deep end now, Daniel. You're gone way over the deep end, brother. You're gone over there tonight. You see that? You take the cake tonight.
Hell no! He's
This is
saving
not the
more.
doctor show. This is not the doctor show tonight. Pick up yourself, Majina.
I have been sorely beaten, my friend. I will give you the spoils of war.
Salute. Salute. Even I can acknowledge you're shining. Very bright tonight. Just say.
But the thing is, he's not wrong. Like,
True.
so, like, we have friends who have come to us and said some stuff, and we have to be like folding our hands and putting it at our side and like saying, you don't even realize what you're doing to yourself. Why we can't get a good woman? Nigga, fix yourself first. Why can't I get a good man? Lower your values because they make no sense.
Like, I want someone to love me. Like, do you love you?
Exactly.
Like, would that being said?
Do you love what you see in the mirror? Do you love what you see in the mirror?
It's actually a huge problem as well. But like, all right, so
I know I'm handsome.
Really?
okay, one of my friends asked me, what is it? What is it?
He said he knows he's handsome.
Okay, that's fast. All right. So anyway,
I'm right.
one of my friends asked me, I think last year, year before, why do I think they're single? So I said I'd have to know a bit more about your relationship life.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a joking question, but then she said it was a real serious question. So I said, all right, based on what I know about you and based on what you've just told me, and since it's like a recurring thing for all the guys you've dated, you may have to accept the fact that you have some insecurities that you haven't worked through, and as a result, you attract, or not just necessarily attract, but are also attracted to a certain type of man without physically knowing it, but like emotionally or spiritually. That is who you want because that is how you feel inside, or that is how you view yourself. And you would need to sort out that issue before dating again. Otherwise, you'll just be repeating the same cycle. And I said that because it's something that I learned.
It's true. So.
Mindset based on the type of woman that I was attracted.
Me too. I attracted a lot of broken women.
Yeah, because
A lot of them. I'm talking to mostly.
It's like, so my analogy of it is like my previous dating life is like I'm in the same hole as all the women that I'm dating. However, they are dirty and I'm wearing full white. So I look better, but I'm in the same exact hole.
You sound like
I was deceiving myself on other people. That's it. Nothing more.
Sir, you sound like most of my exes. Shoot, I even know one who literally dropped from a size 10 to on a size 4 now. Shoot, female dropped so much weight that she posted something on Facebook and I'm like, wow, I almost never recognize her. Good for her. She actually put herself in competition mode now. But look at it this way now. She's one of them who believe in hypergamy. She might not say it out of her mouth, was about to say it with her face, but she probably don't say it with her mouth, but her actions dictate it. I'm not stupid. I paid attention to her selection of boyfriends before they dump her. She doesn't go down in men, she goes up, and she gets high class dumped frequently. So now that she's dropped all that weight, and I'm not going to go there, you know, yes, she's my ex, but I actually want her to find happiness. Honestly, I will say this publicly. I don't have one bad bone in me that would want me to not want any of my exes to find happiness. I want all of them because I want all of them to be happy, like real talk. And I know some of them, and I'm saying this objectively and from a good place. Some of them, because of this unrealistic Western way of looking at relationships, they're going to die alone. And I'm not talking ugly chicks. I'm talking some fine-looking females. You feel me? Good. And I even looked up a few the other day, and I'm like, still single, hot as hell, still single. Yeah, it's like owning a Ferrari and washing it every day, and it never comes out of the garage. That's how I look at them. They don't want to even possibly even think that, you know, maybe their asking price is a bit too high. And I've sat down and talked to them even after I've gotten married, moved on. They've seen my daughter. They're all, oh, she's so pretty. I said, oh, you should have had yours first. But the point I'm making is, and I say that, ladies, because these girls have been fine from they were like 19. Most of their 20s, guys literally threw themselves up. Sure, even after I even dated one and it didn't work out, I kept in touch because I'm like, yo, you know, she has hot friends. Sure, cover her up. But, you know, I mean, that's why I don't really leave relationships on bad terms. Just saying. But point I'm getting at is they waited too long. These women are approaching their 30s now. You understand me? And last time I had conversated with any of them, one told me, yo, these men out here, they're not being serious. This and that. And I'm like, well, how old are you? What you do? Blah, blah, blah. Some went career. Some honestly, and I will say this because some women don't really do believe this nonsense, but some of them say they were just going to party, and when they're ready, they just would just show up. And a guy would just, oh, she's beautiful. Oh my God, I'll marry you. Yeah, but then the reality is finally set in. Unfortunately, a lot of them not getting that Disney, you know, to finish, and then he's there with roses standing there, waiting, that fairy tale ending. She got the degree, she got the man, she got the house, she has the kids, and they lived happily ever. No, they don't. And I'm not saying that to be, you know, to ruffle anybody's feather, but I want women to think about what I'm saying. These are gorgeous women, and again, I say no, they're still beautiful, but their expectations are unrealistic. Unrealistic and unwavering. They refuse to drop it even a little. And I even asked one, yo, is it worth dying alone? Oh, no, I won't die alone. Yeah, but what if the standard year we don't come? What if 35 catch you? 36 catch you? 37 we can't. When you finally hit 40, you're like, oh shit, maybe I need to adjust.
Too late.
That literally leads me to the next paragraph.
Mm.
Or the last paragraph rather.
Mm-hmm.
When we carry the burdens of unhappy relationships And that shit actually ages us. I got no self-esteem. She's expecting this, but she's dating this. The reason
What
why
kind
you
of
couldn't say my hand is because that's how higher standards are, and that's how lower the self-esteem. As in, that just I'm just trying to interpret this as best as possible. And really, this was supposed to be an episode where we try to bash men for the shit that we don't do or need to do. I guess I pick a kind of a poor example because she didn't give a lot of context.
we really, I think we need to, I think the episode where we are bashman need to send around the 2021 list of ponderers and sims I placed because, yeah. But
And also, it can't just be based around saying
As in kind of
unrealistic, unrealistic and unhealthy ways of men look at women too. Because
Yeah.
we have to follow
yeah,
straight.
but I guess I kind of picked up for example.
the minute,
I spoke about some
minute I
good stuff,
read
but I guess I just
first
a
line from this, I was saying, the minute I read the first line from this, I knew that we couldn't be bashing men because if we bash men, we'd sound so out of place.
Yeah. No way.
No, the
Within
thing is that I don't want it to be that.
No way.
You
Within
see
the
people
first
come off as
20
pandering.
True, but no way. Within the first, you even heard me when you started to read. Crying out loud, no way. That was like clear. That I before you, you heard me like this is asinine. This makes no sense.
The way she words things, the way she puts it, it just doesn't make. She comes off as one of those females who thinks they're above everything in the relationship, and then when things go south, she didn't do anything wrong.
Just summarize it, no? Entitled.
Like when you hear this, like we carry the burdens of unhappy relationships, and that
Like-
shit actually ages with us.
So
Like
like you're in the relationship by yourself.
we carry the like, okay, so let me get this straight. If I'm going to use this example, and I really don't want to, so because you give birth to a child, that's the entire burden of the relationship, huh?
Some
So-
people.
So when you were basically abusing the man verbally for not doing it, for getting you pregnant, which you wanted, then you turn around being ungrateful to him because he's not doing what you want to do at your pace.
And also, let's try to make this balanced. And for you gentlemen who promise an impossible standard to some of these women, you should be held accountable for the words that come out of your mouth as well. You can't fake being what you know you aren't. And then when she finally calls you out or it catches up to you, you overreact and say you're unreasonable. How can you look at it that way? You sold her a dream too. And that's also something a lot of men need to take into consideration. You can't be out here promising people, girl, pick me the moon, and you know damn well you can't go further than the parking lot. So be real with yourself. Be real with these women, and maybe honest with you. Yeah.
Be honest with yourself.
Well, I know your life would be so much easier. And I'm gonna be honest with you, even though this might go off track, right? Men, it's easier to me. It makes more sense to be honest with women when it comes towards, say, sex. Be honest. Don't, and I repeat, don't play games. You understand me? And for all the men who want multiple women, be honest with the multiple. Be honest with them. I know, right? And say the funny thing from when we get, for the most part, the men them who are honest with the women them, so them actually live happier lives by being honest, compared to the brother who are fear hide and your phone ring and him.
Yeah, like when I was dating my ex's cousin and her best friend, never really go around the corner.
There you go. And I know some women, oh my
As in, I
God.
told both of them, like, I don't want a relationship, we're just having sex.
Right.
I had sex with the best friend.
And they were okay with it, right?
Sex
They were
cousin,
okay
they
with
found
it.
out. And I was like, yeah, and I continued. They were vexed because, but I was like, yo, we were never in a relationship, you know. We're just fucking.
There you go.
Well, I mean, I would say I did something comparable, but I mean, I did not lie about it. I came clean because I did it out of anger because of what happened. But I did have sex with my ex-girlfriend's sister and her best friend. But I was honest about it. Yes, I know I'm a dog shit, but you know.
I didn't lie about it.
The-
I didn't say, yo, I wasn't like, oh, I love you, baby. No, like, no, I'm trying to get my dick wet. And you got that sport.
Oh, but it's just like Bradshaw said, we are tempted, and well, temptation take me, and well, in a story. It's not as if I went around the corner and lied.
All right, but for close off, she said her last thing. I wish that woman would collectively choose to be in mutually loving, fulfilling, and healthy relationships that don't begin with drama. And just love, empathy, and I can honestly say I wish that for every woman.
It's probably the best part of that entire
It's
thing.
the part that we don't have to question.
Yeah, because it makes sense, and it's what every woman wants. Well, here's the thing. They are going all over the place to achieve that one goal, and call me ignorant, but I think it's a lot more simpler than they make it seem for themselves, because they think they need to do this and that. Really and truly, it only takes several things for them to reach certain goals.
So, sorry to interrupt you, but my point on that, but the Sambo drama,
it's going to be there.
I know that alone. Some of them are wired. If them don't see drama the first couple of days or couple of weeks, quote unquote, this relationship is boring.
Yep.
This guy is just, he's so he's so typical. He goes to work, he comes home, he spends time with me, but that's about it. He plays his video games, he talks to his friends. Like, I don't get it. Because most women, especially the modern ones, they've been coached by TV, media in general. The bad boy is exciting. The bad boy brings drama and trauma. Drama and trauma.
If they don't, they don't piss him off. They don't feel good. Like what?
So here's the problem. It creates what is known as trauma bonding. Very, very toxic thing that women.
It's like a form of Stockholm syndrome.
Trauma bonding is quite dangerous because it overemphasizes all the toxic traits where hurt women. It amplifies them to the point that women can't do without it because this guy makes her think, makes she can't sleep at night.
The danger stimulates her.
Yeah, and but the thing is, it scars her. Every time she goes into a relationship like this, it scars her. It damages her further. So when a good man has his stuff together, psychologically, on the level, meets up with her. Within the first couple of weeks, months, if she is not mentally ready for another guy, that trauma, because she can't bond with this guy now, because what? She now is suffering from the traumas. So this guy faces hell because of another man. And then you use him, and then you find someone else that looks like the guy who destroyed your life the first time. So you go on to him. And the cycle continues. Some unlucky simp, idiot, jackass, pick one, will pick you up after you've been traumatized yet again. And the cycle will continue to make you feel good until you find another toxic person to trauma bond with. And it keeps cycling. This has to break, ladies. This way of thinking has to change. That's all I'm saying.
Needs to die out. Because I can't tell the amount of female friends I have seen write the same nonsense over and over again. I'm bipolar. Okay. What the fuck does that have to do with anything regarding your relationship? Oh, you like to be left alone, but at the same time, you want them to figure out what's going on in your mind when you won't say shit. Nonsensical views of looking at things. And then when the relationship doesn't work out, you wonder why. You wonder why. And I will say this with no apology. Rugby people in this country, specifically the ones who play union and league, are guilty of this on so many levels. And I'm tired of seeing it. Every God almighty time they keep on doing the same bullshit. Oh, if I don't annoy him, I don't feel good about myself. What?
Yeah, that garbage is learned.
Yeah.
That garbage is learned, people. Believe it or not, ladies, that's learned. Women of past never did that because they understood that men had their stuff and women had their stuff. Even to this very day, unless the guy is insecure, most secure men don't really call your phone every 5 minutes. Don't want it. And I've met women who like the guy who goes through her phone, argues with her over nonsense. For her, that's stimulating somehow. Are you serious? And then you bring that same energy to a man, and he's like, I'm not having it, and you're vexed with him because you expect him to be on that psychological level, and he's above it. I know, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a virgin who got engaged and girls must sleep with him brother or something, and because they already had a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a couple of days after they get married, like he text me and tell me, I say, so how you feeling? Man say, it's meh. I'm like, meh? I'm like, yeah. Man say, what am I going to do? Be upset over something I couldn't control? I already have a kid. If she wants to leave, she leaves. I mean, here you go.
That's just the nature of things now, unfortunately. That's it.
So guys, I forgot to send you the list of topics to decide which one we're gonna do next week.
Next week,
we're gonna have to revisit this.
Aren't we doing one later this week?
Oh yeah, the second one for the week. Yeah, I haven't decided. As it relates to us,
let's make the decision for you. Like I think we've
bashed
women.
As in, so I have several weeks worth of topics, like 4 topics for each episode. The next several weeks.
I think it's time the algorithm on YouTube finally goes in our favor. Because with the amount of bashing of women, I'm surprised YouTube hasn't reported us yet. Yet naked yoga is a thing.
I'm not complaining.
Careful. Shh. Careful.
Let us make sure that we have a disclaimer. Everything we say is for educational purposes.
Purposes. This has nothing. This is not, and this is not men who just get up and have a chip on their shoulder against women. Like I said, I married one. I had a child with one. And I'd love to see many more get married and get happy. And this notion of, oh, this fantastic love thing, that I think that's something that has to change. For women to truly see happiness, you have to change the way you look at marriage, love in general, because the Disneyfication version of love doesn't exist in the real world.
Never will.
Shoot, even Meghan Markle, even though I'm not going down that dark road, even Meghan Markle, when she finally got married to a prince, she said, and I quote, "It's nothing like what you think on TV. It's nothing like that. It's work. It's a job. It's not a fairy tale, people. It's a job. Maybe on jets and so forth, but you be flying from country to country to country within a day. 4 countries, 4 stops in one day, and that's just one day. That's just one day. And for the week, you are making speeches, you are making presentations, you are representing the crown in every way you do, from the way how you bring yourself. These are the things that people don't research. This is why Meghan Markle had probably one of the hardest, apart from, again, I'm not going down this dark road, but
let us do this.
No, let's not go down the path here.
But you know how some
we're not doing it today because we're out of time.
Oi,
Yeah.
when we when we go down that rabbit hole, we'll be amply prepared because we have ammunition for it. But let me just say this: we are in no shape or form. Like, to be fair, me, I don't know about the rest of the gents on this podcast, but me, I couldn't give a shit about what Meghan has against the crown. You know why? It's none of my business, as Preach would say. It's none of my business. We all know.
I'm gonna be quiet on this as well.
All empires that were built, they all did shady shit. No one has hidden it. The Germans did, Spanish did, everyone knows. But the fact of the matter is, you went into something, you signed up for it, and you clearly weren't amply aware of what you were getting yourself into. Again, we're not going into detail, but the fact of the matter is,
they play devil's advocate. Some of them really weren't. Some really weren't.
And
I have a few exes that prove so some really didn't.
Again, I personally, I don't care about the crown. I don't care about their issues. But you miss.
Anyway,
proven time and time again.
I kind of to go to bed.
As I was saying, so the whole thing where we are going after men for like the shit that we don't do or need to do in relationships, and simping
needs to die.
But explore that. We will have to re-explore that another time. The example I used today was kind of a poor example.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. But so yeah. But just to give us a list of some of the topics. Ghosting. Some women are too independent, but want to be dependent in a relationship. Where do we find a balance? Gender roles have changed due to feminism. A video I found where a girl asked, "Tell me when you knew the bar was low for men." There's 2 responses to it, and yeah, only one made sense.
Naturally.
Let's see. Sex toys and sex toy shaming, specifically for men, because women can have a myriad of things. A man buys a sex doll and he's a freak or a weirdo.
In a cup, but
to each his own.
All right, so on my Facebook memories, I found a video from Clinton Coley, and I got these topics from a couple of videos he did years back. One, if it's not a date, we're splitting the check.
Agreed.
Why do women tend to withhold sex from someone who they see a future with?
Yeah.
How long before a hoe can destroy her reputation as housewife?
Repeat that.
Eh?
Repeat that third one.
How long before a hoe's reputation can be diminished and she be seen as a housewife or
Can be done.
housewife, potential housewife? Eh?
Can be done. Yeah, I know, right?
All right, next.
You swear me that's the other one. Can be done. Can be done. Yo, for those
If
of
you
you who
hold on.
think it can be done.
Well, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna save my thoughts for when we do that.
Yeah,
It's quite possible. Continue.
you come to smash. Hold on. Okay, so I wrote, if you came to smash, whether because you're a fuckboy or you know she a hoe or both,
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't give you, is it wrong to move on? Yeah, so as a man, if you're dating a chick
Mm-hmm.
and you, for the sole purpose of getting between the legs,
She
whether
knows
it is
this.
because you know her reputation as promiscuous, or you are
Does
just
she
like
know? Does she
or
know?
whatever, and she says no, is it
Does she?
wrong to move on?
As I may ask you, does she know that's your ultimate aim? Does she know?
No,
Or you
but
try?
like,
Go
if I
ahead,
remember the video correctly, no, he just knows that she promiscuous like that, or he's like that, and he just wants to smash. But she likes it, but it kind of ties into second one, where if she sees a future with you, she withhold sex.
Yeah.
For some reason. You weren't withholding it when you were plowing through those football.
All right, next one. If you ask her out and she brings a friend, do you pay for the friend?
Hell no.
Don't answer.
For what God Almighty purpose?
We have self-love.
I hope men have more of that. Self-love.
Sex on the first, does it matter?
Does it matter?
How much should you spend on the first date?
Wait, what?
Polygamy versus cheating. Sex on the first date, does it matter? How much should one spend on the first date?
Not only a damn budget, that's for sure.
Cheating. If your girlfriend wants a break, is the relationship over?
Wait, before you even continue, we went over this last time.
Don't speak.
We went over this the last time.
And mental health issues in relationships. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but women lie to themselves more than men do.
Yes, they do.
Well, I guess that's where I got my delusional theory from. Women are delusional and men are illusionists. Well, those are the things.
Men like themselves too. But even some men know when to draw the line, even in our delusion. I mean, there are the few.
That's what I'm saying. Men are illusionists because, all right, well, watch this, Bradshaw. If a man comes on social media in public and say his woman should be faithful while he's allowed to cheat, when he comes around his friends, say we are his friends, when he comes around us, he's not going to be spitting that same rhetoric because he knows it's bullshit, and he knows that we know it's bullshit.
True.
So he's going to take off the facade. Whereas if a woman believes that she's entitled to a man's money, no matter what, she's going to say that in public or in private because she genuinely does believe it.
Intriguing.
Well, not all women, but
I get it. Well, gents, it's been a pleasure. I To go.
Gents, sleep. We'll have work tomorrow.
I have little or no sleep ahead of me, so more power to me somehow.
Later.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support. Thank you and stay awesome. Good night.
Yep.